there is a district-wide policy. If there's a district-wide policy that says we are buckling in our preschool and kindergarten kids, you go. Otherwise, if something happens, that driver's directly liable for that child, okay? It says now, do a thorough physical examination of all school bus and items on the vehicle itself. So that we're going through. You've done a physical examination of passenger items, now a thorough examination of all school bus items on the vehicle. Do you have any questions? So you're going through everything again. You've talked about everything. So this is for the A section, which I talked about, is everything from front forward, the hood. Form A, now inspect all items associated with the front of the vehicle, including the external light operations. So in other words, before you got that bus, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to say, okay, turn on your headlights. I want to see you demonstrate turn on headlights. Now I want to see the bright lights. Now, give me a right turn signal, give me a left turn signal. I'm going to indicate what I want you to do. Now I'm going to say I want 4 ways. So in other words, your emergency flashers, and then I want my 8 ways. You show me demonstrates the stop arm and then comes up. You've got to demonstrate that, okay? So, like I say, test A, inspect all items associated with the front of the vehicle, including external light operations, the items within the engine compartment, all steering components, and all items associated with the front driver's side, axle, tire, and wheel. Do you have any questions? So then we go to, here's the part B. Now inspect all items associated with the driver's side door, fuel area, the underside of the vehicle, the rearmost driver's side truck, axle, tractor axle, and the vehicle's rear external light operation. Do you have any questions? So I don't give you anything. It's just you're on your own, you go. So we go to basic control skills and general instructions with it. For your skills test, you will now demonstrate your ability to maneuver your vehicle. You receive points for additional pull-ups and full encroachments when you cross over, touch a boundary line or cone. Most of these you're allowed 1 pull-up and 1 get out and look. So in other words, okay, I backed up, I come to this point. Let's say you're doing the parallel parking. You park in, so I don't think that's right. Now, get up and look, as if you get out of the seat. You go to the back of the bus, that's still a get out and look. Now, in parallel parking, you're allowed 2 pull-ups and 2 get out and looks. So, and they'll tell you that as you go through the procedure.
I got a question for you.
Yep.
So, you're doing that. So, if you get out and look, then you should also take the key with you.
No, not on the test. Don't worry about it on the test. You can tell them that if in normal circumstances I wouldn't remove the key and shut the bus off. But if you're just getting out to check, I'm not gonna
leaving the bus.
because you're not physically getting out and leaving the bus. Especially if you're just getting out, if you're getting up and going back and check.
No, you just saying when you walk to the back to look to see.
When exiting the vehicle, now I'm saying when you exit the vehicle, okay, you must exit the vehicle using the safety points, and you must set the parking brake and place the vehicle neutral. So if you're going to get out and look, you've got to do that. Now it makes sense. How are you going to? How you get if you haven't set the thing anyhow? Okay.
Right.
You cannot use more than allotted exits and never more than 3 pull-ups or 3 encroachments per exercise. So that's overall for the whole thing. Okay. If I raise my hands, yell stop. You must stop the vehicle and return your vehicle within exercise boundary lines. Specific instructions for each exercise will follow. Do you have any questions? I will tell you what I expect of you, okay? Straight line backing, pull forward the lane and stop position. Back straight down the lane until the front of your wheel has cleared the front set of cones at the stop line. You're now allowed 1 free pull-up and 1 exit during this exercise. Set your parking brake and sound your horn. And you complete the exercise. You don't sound the horn? We may be standing there all day. Because I got to know you're done with it, okay? The vehicle must be complete within space when you complete the exercise. Do you have any questions? Offset backing. Pull forward in the lane to the starting position. Back your vehicle into the adjacent line until the front of the vehicle has cleared the front set of cones in the stop line. You're allowed 2 free pull-ups and 2 exits during this exercise. I don't have the dock backing. We've got to upgrade. I got to get an upgrade from the Secretary of State's office on that. Here's another thing, it goes back to the same thing. Set your park brake, sound your horn when you complete the exercise. All these are the same way. Parallel parking, pull forward until your rear bumper comes parallel to the front of your parking space. Your vehicle must be parallel to the parking space. Back in the parking space, you're allowed 2 free pull-ups and 2 exits during this exercise. Set your parking brake and sound your horn when you complete the exercise. Your vehicle must be complete within space when you complete the exercise. Do you have any questions? Okay, let me explain this. The bus is 40 feet long. You're allowed 40 plus 10 feet. I'm sorry, 40 plus 15 feet to get into that box. You cannot encroach this line as you're backing up. I mean, if you're backing on the driver's side, you can't encroach that line. And I give leeway. In other words, if you're coming up there and you're following that line trying to get in so you're equal on each side and you're over that line 6 or 8 inches, I'm not going to say anything. It's the final park place. But if you're coming over there and you're back in that bus, that over, we're going to stop, we're going to start over again. Because there's a building there, you just hit it. Okay? But if you're following along that line and you're 4 to 6 inches right along that line, I'm not going to say much. And I think most of them, the ones I've talked to, Chris Ware is down Secretary of State's office in Springfield, he's the same way. It's the ending point. And remember, once you're in that 55 feet, you got 40 feet plus 15. Once you're in that 55 feet, and you think you're good, set the parking brake and sound the horn, you're done. Once you get inside, you're done. Don't worry about it. So that's the test now. It's a little different than what it used to be. And they started doing this, I think it was 4 years ago we started with this. Like I said, they've added back the dock backing, so actually what you'll do is you'll start in position. Let's say this is dock, you'll start in position out here and 45 into that dock area, and the cones will be set up. But you have to do that now, and that's part of the new ELDT. So those are some things that have changed a little bit.
So where does dock backing have to do with school bus? Like, last time I checked, we don't back a bus until we're loading back. I assume it's what it's for.
I mean, you gotta
Ask
back
the
up the bar.
FMCSA, would you? I'd like to know that question
You
too.
could technically, because you're allowed to load certain things in your bus if necessary. So technically, you could back into it.
Technically you could, but that's part, when Obama was in administration, they decided everybody wanted, all these veterans come back, and nobody had a job, so they wanted to be bus drivers, truck drivers. So this was something that started during his administration that, hey, this is a great thing, and let the Federal Motor Carriers Safety Association take over, which was a mistake. Because when they started this, we were supposed to enact this in February of 2021. It didn't get enacted until this year. And this hand, I'll guarantee you, still doesn't know what this hand is doing. It is a pain in the rear to do some stuff that we have to do with it. But we've got to follow guidelines. If you want to be a school bus driver or a truck driver, it's the same. They follow the same procedure we do. It's just what it is.
Question, just to back up when you was doing, like test A under the engine. You say, tell me about it. You said you don't say anymore, we just gotta tell you everything.
You gotta tell me.
Say for instance, we got the alternator, but we missed to tell you that it's a 1/4 inch plate. That's a point off, or is that a lot of points off?
It just takes, each item is considered 1 point.
Oh, okay.
So if you miss it,
Like I told
if
you
you're going
about
through
it.
and you're
you
telling me
missed that
everything's
part.
going here, I'm gonna check it off.
So
But
I
if
missed
you
it, I didn't
miss
get
it,
off.
it's gonna be left blank, now I'll know that you missed 2 or 3. Like I said, you gotta get 33 points. 46,
Oh, okay.
and if you get the first 2 sections, you know, talk about the cab inspection and the passenger section, there's 26 points.